Good evening, I'm Dale Ostrander.
And I'm Andrea Snowdy. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of the Center County Report, Election Night 2022. Tonight, county election offices are counting ballots right now as we wait more results in this important midterm election. Here's a live look at the Penn Stater Hotel at Innovation Park, where election officials have been working tonight to count votes. And we do have some official results coming in, so let's get right to the key races we're following across Pennsylvania and Center County tonight.
In the U.S. Senate race, it's John Fetterman against Dr. Mehmet Oz. Going into this race, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman is going against Mehmet Oz, and so far in the race, John Fetterman is up has 53.2% of the total votes so far, compared to Mehmet Oz at 44.4% of the votes. The difference in that is 136,000 votes approximately, and there's only about an estimated reporting is about 27% so far. So it is very early so far in this race. John Fetterman, his plans for labor are support organized labor, and Mehmet Oz supports Pennsylvania needs to produce more natural gas and coal and do less business with China. Moving into the next race tonight, we're also watching the U.S. congressional race tonight in District 15. That district covers Center County and much of north central PA. It's longtime Republican incumbent Glenn Thompson taking on Democratic challenger Michael Milesevich. Right now, it's Glenn Thompson with the early lead in this race with a total of 67% of the early votes to Mike Milesevich's 32%. The difference between those votes is about 60,000 votes right now, and the estimated reporting is about 57% of the votes so far in this race. Moving into the next race tonight, in the governor's race, Democrat Josh Shapiro is up against Republican Doug Mastriano. Shapiro has been Pennsylvania's Attorney General for the past 5 years. Mastriano has served in the state Senate since 2019. Right now, Josh Shapiro has about 58.2% of the votes so far, while Doug Mastriano is sitting at 40% of the votes. The difference in that is 280,000 votes approximately, but still early in this race, at about 27% of the votes have been voted so far. Doug Mastriano's plans for Pennsylvania are to reduce its per-student school funding for students from $19,000 to about $9,000, wanting students and parents to decide whether they want to attend public, private, charter, or home schools. And on Josh Shapiro's side, he plans to further lower state's corporate net income tax, embrace Pennsylvania's role as a natural gas producer while investing in green technology for the future.
Now to the state house races. First, District 77, which covers part of western Center County, including State College, Pine Grove Mills, and Port Matilda. The incumbent is Democrat Scott Conklin. He's challenged by Republican Steve Yetsko. Right now, Conklin is leading with 67.5% of the vote. A big thing with this, Yetsko is very adamant about what he calls kitchen table issues relating to rising costs of energy, whereas Conklin, as a Democrat, is very focused on climate change and utilizing green energy. So I think for Yetsko, there's definitely going to be those voters in more rural areas who are more concerned about that rising cost of energy and the expenses that come with that. Next up is State House District 82, which covers State College and Boalsburg, and north to Snowshoe. Democratic Paul Takak takes on Republican Justin Behrens. Right now, Takak is leading with 63.7% of the vote. As far as infrastructure, they're both very adamant on that, especially with the changes being made to Route 322 and the connector project. And as far as Behrens, one thing that stands out about him as a Republican is he is pro-life, but as opposed to the other Republican candidates, he claims that he is pro-life but with exceptions, such as incest or rape or any medical conditions that go towards the mother. So that it does separate him from many of his Republican candidates, making it not so black and white. And here's a look at State House District 171 that covers parts of eastern Center County, including Bellefonte and Center Hall, and south into Mifflin County, including Lewistown. Republican incumbent Carrie Benninghoff is challenged by Democrat Robert Ziegler. Benninghoff was first elected in 1996 and is the current House Majority Leader. Ziegler has served on the Millheim Borough Council since 2018. Right now, Benninghoff leads with 57.1% of the vote.
It's a busy night for county election officials and volunteers around Pennsylvania. Reporter Anna Meyer is live at the Penn Stater Hotel at Innovation Park, where they are counting ballots tonight. Anna?
Thanks, Dale. There's been a high voters turnout today. I spoke to some volunteers earlier today, and they said they've seen more in-person voters than ever have before. And we just got word in that ballots will be coming in soon. Now, there's a lot here at stake during this election, such as key issues as rising inflation, reproductive rights, and the future of the economy. This election features new Pennsylvania congressional and state district lines that will be in place for the next 10 years. Here's more information. Every 10 years, new census data is used by states to redraw their congressional and state legislative districts. It's a sometimes long and painful process that can lead to court fights. Pennsylvania's new congressional map, chosen by the state Supreme Court, eliminated one Republican district, but other than that, doesn't make major changes to the state lines. Pennsylvania lost one congressional seat overall. Earlier this year, the State Legislative Reapportionment Commission voted to approve new state house and Senate maps. State Representative Scott Conklin of Centre County says the fight for any toss-up districts is key to the power balance.
Those three leaning seats are those toss-up seats. That's whether the Republicans or the Democrats will control the agenda. See, in the House and in the Senate, the leader of the majority party controls the agenda.
With the election right around the corner, these new district lines could potentially change the outcome by shifting the power from a Republican control to Democratic. Redistricting has 6 general criteria under the state constitution to be approved: compactness, contiguity, equal population, preservation of existing political communities, partisan fairness, and racial fairness.
Doing so, we were able to make what I believe for the first time since the politicians were involved in it, the fairest redistricting process, not only for the House but also for Congress. It may not have been what everybody wanted, but it's a map that everybody can live with.
Others wonder what redistricting could mean for their representation.
I am a little nervous about the election, like the results, just because as a woman, I know my reproductive rights are kind of on the line here in Pennsylvania. I know it's a swing state, so that's why I came to vote.
Kate Heinzel is from State College, says she is happy that the state redistricted, but still is nervous for the future.
I'm excited with the redistricting because it allows for more possibility for new candidates with new ideas to come in. I am nervous that we are going to move less democratic in the large sense of what it means to be a democracy.
With many races too close to call this year, no matter how areas are redistricted, it will ultimately be up to voters and voter turnout. In State College, I'm Anna Meyer for the Centre County Report. Pennsylvania now has 17 congressional chairs instead of 18 after this year's redistricting. Live from Innovation Park, I'm Anna Meyer.
Thanks, Anna. Joining us tonight, we also have 2 members of our election team in the newsroom watching developments as they happen across the nation and state. Ava Brengord and Josh Portney. As the votes are starting to roll in tonight, guys, what are you seeing so far?
Dale, this is very exciting stuff as these ballots are being rolled in and counted. Right now, we are primarily getting those ballots that are mail-in and absentee. That's what we'd like to preface these results with right now. And those ballots, those physical ones that were voted on today, will be counted later in the night, of course. So right now, the candidates that are up right now, Takak and Conklin, the Democratic candidates, and Thompson and Binninghoff, the Republican, in their respective districts.
Absolutely, and again, I want to express that caution because particularly in the 82nd district, we have 7 municipalities in the northern tier of the district and 2 that have no election day voting yet counted, and 2 of those municipalities in the middle part of the district have only half of their election day voting in. So we do want to express some caution, especially when you're evaluating those results. Just think about there are still some votes to still be cast and still be counted because of that election day results. But still a commanding lead by both of the Democratic State House candidates in the 77th and in the new 82nd district.
Yeah, absolutely. And these slow counting of ballots doesn't mean anything's wrong. Just pre-canvassing is not allowed in Pennsylvania, of course. So they started counting at 7 a.m. as opposed to other states that have been starting counting, days prior. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Absolutely. In other states, they would have had a more complete picture of that mail-in completely in there at 8:01 p.m. But unfortunately, we do not allow pre-canvassing in the Act 77 of our state.
Yeah. So back to you guys, and of course, we'll be monitoring all these ballots and tallies, and we'll get back to you at 11.
Thanks, Josh and Ava. And that's all for the Center County Report election update.
We're back live at 11 with more voting results. See you then.